Sunday, Yankee Stadium hosted its namesake team against the Baltimore Orioles, but before the first pitch, some lasting memories. Bring your hammer, bring your drill, bring whatever to take some concrete off the exterior. Reggie Jackson, picture this. 1 game left. Yogi Berra. Bittersweet day for many.
Well, I hate to see it go. I played here all my life over here. 18 years I played here. It'll always be in my heart. It will. With Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, but nobody goes there anymore. It's too crowded. A park will eventually replace the stadium. These young men were representing the opening day lineup in 1923, and where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio? Yogi got a huge ovation. 83 years old, 10-time World Series champion, took a spot behind home plate. How about Whitey Ford watching Don Larson? Perfect game, Don Larson. Scooped some souvenir dirt. Phil Rizzuto's widow, Cora, there. The deceased greats, represented by family members. Chris Chambliss, the home run he hit that sent the Yanks to the '76 World Series. Mr. October, Reggie. Greg Nettles, Wade Boggs, Scott Brocious, all Gold Glove winners at third. How about former Mets manager Willie Randolph? Good to see the smile back on his face. The Bleacher Creatures with some love for their man, Paul O'Neill. And then the last player to be introduced, his first time back to the stadium since '06. Bertie Williams got an ovation, lasted almost 2 minutes. If you're watching this live, you're getting chicken skin, goosebumps. It's really touching. That's Julia Ruth Stevens, the 92-year-old daughter of the Babe. She threw out the ceremonial first pitch. Good trip for all involved. Now, legendary Yankee announcer Bob Shepard not there, but still, he recorded the opening lineup. Here's Shepard announcing who else? The captain.
At shortstop, number 2, Derek Jeter.
Bottom third, Yankees down 2-0. 2 on, no outs. Johnny Damon hopped up on Jolly Ranchers and Diet Cokes, and that's off Chris Waters. It's 3-2. Now, bottom 4. Now, the name of the Molina game that they play on baseball tonight, the answer will be Jose when the question is, name the Molina who hit the last home run at Yankee Stadium. Yankees up 5-3. Andy Pettitte, he left the game. Got a curtain call. By the way, the Molina home run caught by a guy who said he only wanted to be known as Steve.
All right, Steve.
Yeah, give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which the Yankee fans desire. Mariano Rivera into the game. Derek Jeter out of the game. Went 0 for 5 in this game, but man, everything he's done for the Yankees. His parents in attendance, and here it is, 2 outs. Brian Roberts grounds out to Cody Ransom. And then it's Motown. Mariano Rivera takes the ball, has got the smile, and the Yankees win 7-3. Half-game wild card lead at Atlanta. Jerry Manuel starter Mike Pelfrey handed the bullpen a lead. And here's where it got dicey. Scott Schoenweiss, Mets up 1, runner on second. Casey Kochman, check swing. Omar Infante's scores were tied at 4. Later in the 8th, Joe Smith, his turn. Jeff Francoeur, how's it? Triples to left center. Brett Lillibridge scores. The Braves take a 5-4 lead. Bullpen, 2 innings, 4 runs. Later in the inning, Aaron Heilman. Same old song and dance, my friends. Martin Prado, inside outs it to right, 2 scores, 7-4. 29th blown save this season for the Mets bullpen. Top 9, bartender, pint of ale, shot of Jack, Carlos Delgado. 2-run shot is 37th. The Mets down 7-6. Next batter, Gonzalez gets Carlos Beltran, and then he gets Damian Easley, and the bullpen drops another one, 7-6.
Top third, no score. Utley putting a 2 spot on the board. His 32nd of the season, and it puts Philly up 2-0. We go to the top of the 8th now. Philly's up 1, and they can use a little insurance. Like a good neighbor, Pedro Feliz is there. 2-run shot for him, his 14th. Phillies take it 5-2. Jamie Moyer gets the win. He's 11-1 against Florida, and the Phillies looking good.
Milwaukee looking to take advantage of the Mets' Sunday collapse. Brewers in Cincinnati, top 2, scoreless. No outs, no more. Prince Fielder, home run to right center. His 33rd, and it's 1-0. Come off Bronson Arroyo. And then in the top of the 4th, Arroyo's still in, and Fielder's still picking on him. Double down the right field line. Craig Counsell, Ryan Braun score. And the Brewers, they go on to win it 8-1 is your...
Need one more win to clinch home field advantage throughout the NL playoffs. first of 3 in New York on Monday. Bottom 2, Mets down 1-zip, 2 outs. Brian Schneider at the plate. Ball gets away. Giovanni Soto and Carlos Delgado races home from third. Watch again. Soto on the plate. He can't fight it. Marquis is going to go track it down. By that time, yeah, Delgado's in, and we are tied at 1. Top 4, Mets leading 2-1. Marquis at the dish with the bases loaded. He's going to get that run back, and he's going to give you 3 more. Gotta have the money ball. Marquis' 5th career home run. It's his first career grand slam. First by a Cubs pitcher since the famed Kevin Tapani in 1998.
Oh, yeah.
Second pitcher to grand slam this season against the Mets. Felix Hernandez did it as well. So just like that, 6-2, and just like that, John Neese is out. Jerry Manuel pulls it. Schneider here. 6-4-3 double play. Marquis, so much for that little jam in the 4th. In the 6th, we got runners on 1st and 2nd again. Luis Antonio Donato Castillo, you get in his house right now. Sorry, yelled. Another jam gone. Marquis, 6 2/3, 4 earned runs. Mark DeRosa, high fly ball to center in the 7th. It's 8-2. Stays in the park, not a big deal. They didn't need the run. They needed to make sure Carlos Beltran's okay. Look at this. Beltran right into the wall, out, shaken up. Comes up clutching, but would stay in the game. Mets lose 9-5. Manager Manuel, how you holding up?
All of that making the people south in Philadelphia very happy. J.A. Happ on the mound, facing Kelly Johnson, top of the 6th. You with me on that?
Yeah.
Johnson, by the way, the home run. He has the longest hitting streak in the National League. A mere 20 games. That's the longest hitting streak in the National League this season. Top of the 8th, Jeff Francoeur grounds it short. Jimmy Rollins coming home, gets Johnson out at the plate. Phils get out of the jam without a run scoring. Bottom 8, that's a pinch runner, Greg Golson. Jeff Bennett trying to pick him off, throws the ball away. Golson advanced to 3rd. 2 batters later, Jason Worth to 3rd. Martin Prado throws home. Golson is safe, 3-2 Phils. Pat Burrell, after Ryan Howard flied out, 2 on and 2 out, and get out. Burrell's 33rd. That's the most he's hit since he hit 37 6 years ago. Brian McCann, what do you call this? Ball looks like it might have hit off the foul pole, which, as you know, would be a fair ball and a home run. McCann gets a double. As you can see there, looks like it hits underneath the foul pole and bounces back into play. Bobby Cox and the Braves argue they did not review it, by the way. And then 2 batters later, with 2nd and 3rd and 2 down, Prado grounds out. The Phillies 14-2. They own the Braves this year. Just one reason: they are in the driver's seat in the NL East. How about 2.5-game lead? Sox beat the Indians. They clinch a playoff spot. Magic number at 1. So this is easy, right? Bottom of the 5th, not so easy. Indians were up 4-1. Here's David Ortiz. Maybe getting hot at the right time. 5th home run the last 7 games, 4-2. Sox have 2 on, 2 out in the bottom of the 6th. Gets a little nutty here. Jeff Bailey, fair ball down the 3rd baseline. Hit off the umpire. Jason Bay caught off 3rd as Jason Varitek's headed for 3rd. And will Bay eventually be tagged out in a rundown between 3rd and home to end the inning. The Indians still leading 4-2. On to the 7th, still 4-2. Sox have runners in the corners and 1 down. Here's Kevin Youkilis. It drives a double high off the monster. Jacoby Ellsbury's going to score. Ortiz to 3rd. It's a 4-3 game. Intentional walk to Jason Bay. And here's Jed Lowry. He's looking. He had a tough night at the plate. Cleveland would escape the inning with the lead. Sox trying to rally. Youkilis on 3rd. Bay on 2nd. 2 outs now. Bottom of the 9th. Here's Lowry again. Yeah, the rookie goes 0 for 5. Struck out 3 times. Indians win their 7th straight. Hot at the right time. Red Sox magic number.
One in the minors, 109 strikeouts in 109 innings, just 32 walks. He's 6'6", he's 225, and there you see the kicker, left-handed. Goodbye, Aubrey Huff. Next batter here in the 4th, Oscar Salazar. Rounds at the shortstop. Price, pretty good through the first 4 innings. He didn't allow a hit. Into the 5th, 2-0 Rays. Price in some trouble, though. 2 hits and errors, got the bases loaded, nobody out. Some adversity here, and he walks Juan Castro. Luke Scott will score. It's 2-1 Rays, following a sac fly that tied it. Runners at the corners. Price strikes out Nick Markakis. So 2 we got. Next batter, Adam Jones, not Pac-Man, the Adam Jones. Yeah. Adam Jones, baseball player. Inning over. Price fights through it pretty well, escapes the jam, allowing just 2 runs. Into the 6th. Price, more trouble. 2 on, nobody out. Gets Luke Scott. That would do it for Price, though. No decision, 5 1/3, 4 hits, 1 earned. Into the 7th, runners on first and second. Jason Bartlett, ground ball to third base line, and a fan will grab it. Gabe Gross scores on the ground rule double. I'm sure that fellow was escorted out. 3-2 Rays in the 9th. Dan Wheeler on for the save. It's a 4-2 game. Wheeler gets Kevin Millar. Will pop up, shortstop. Rays win 4-2. Wheeler's 12th save of the season. It's their 93rd win. Last
the Angels would only be 38 games behind the Halos.
tightening it up.
Yeah, looking to cut into that deficit here. Vladimir Guerrero, the top of the fourth.
Gone.
Of Ryan Roland Smith, and it is gone. How did you know? His 25th of the season, so the Angels tie the game at 1-0. Irvin Santana dealing in a big way. A strikeout there and a strikeout there. He improves to 5-1 his last 10 starts, wins his 16th game of the season. Finished with 8 innings, 1 earned, 9 strikeouts. And K-Rod, his 61st save, making it that much tougher. Have to get going. 2.5 back with 7 games to play. Brandon Webb going for his 22nd win of the season. Might as well be do or die for Arizona visiting the Cards. Connor Jackson doubles the center. Stephen Drew coming around to score from second. D-backs had a 1-0 lead. Now the Cy Young candidate Webb, he's on first. He's chatting it up with Albert Pujols. Well, here's Drew, lines at the center. Chris Snyder's going to come around to score. They're going to send Webb. The 22-game winner, they send him on a very close play at the plate. Not that close. Out by a country mile. Here's Stephen Drew. A home run, his 20th of the season. He becomes the 3rd shortstop at 40 doubles, 10 triples, 20 homers in a season, joining Robin Yount and Nomar Garcia-Parra. Bottom 7, D-backs up 3-2. Webb facing Pujols and gets him. Webb 7 innings, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts on the night. D-backs up 4-2. Second and third, bottom of the 8th. Aaron Miles lines out to David Eckstein. Flip to Drew. The catch tried Gloss sleeping. Webb is the NL's first